Hi friends, Marley here and welcome to Gardening in Kentucky. We are in our unfinished greenhouse because today I am potting up some tomatoes. I've been wanting to do this a couple of weeks ago, but unfortunately I hurt my finger that first time, and the second time we tried potting the tomatoes, somebody was spraying something across the street, so we decided not to do it. But today it's a nice day, 60 degrees, a little bit cooler, so it's nice in here. And finally I was able to start potting up the tomatoes. And then I remember I needed to grab my camera so I can show you how I pot up the tomatoes. These are the little seedlings that we are going to sell in our stand to hopefully recover a little bit of the expenses of starting our garden. In this tray, I seeded 6 different types of tomatoes. We have Amish paste, beefsteak, brandywine red, there's brandywine pink, Cherokee purple, and Roma. So far, I have transplanted around 120, maybe 150 tomato plants. I have transplanted Amish paste, beefsteak, and brandywine red. I seeded around 50 seeds of each of this kind, so about 300 seeds all in this tray. This is a 72 cell tray. I used to put just one seed in a cell, but since I needed to seed a lot and I didn't have much room in my seed starting station, and when I started this I only had one heat mat for the plants, I had to start all of them in one batch to save time since I also started late. So we are about 2 weeks behind in transplanting this. That's why the first set of leaves have started getting yellow, but that's okay because we don't really need these leaves. We can just take them off. And also notice that in this cell I have 3 seedlings. Some of them have a lot, like this one, which is Cherokee purple. There are like 5 seedlings, so I need to separate them. This, I'm still working on the brandywine pink right now. So what I usually do is I just remove them, all of them, from the cell. So you see this one has 2 big ones. There's a medium seedling and then there's a small seedling. So I'm just taking out all of the brandywine pink, and so I have Cherokee purple and Roma left in this tray. And then I grab my 3-inch square pots. I like the square pots because they're more stable and like they don't fall over when you carry your tray to another part of the garden. And then I fill in the pot with potting soil. I'll show you what the potting soil looks like. I've added water to it because if you use the potting soil without adding water, then I'm going to show you this one right here. This is the potting soil that I use, and look, this is very dry. It's very dry. So, and whenever you spray this with water, the particles will just float in the water. So that's why I mix my potting soil with water first, put it in a bucket, add water to it, mix them up. I just use this to mix them up. I mean, sometimes I use a stick, just whatever I can grab. And then what I do is, since I have multiple seedlings in a cell, I just separate them like this. It'll be easier if this were smaller. It'll be easier to separate them because if they're smaller, their roots are not very much tangled up, but it would still be fine. Tomatoes actually I found to be easier to repot than the other plants. And then so I have this pot that's ready to go. So I poke a hole in the middle of the potting soil in the pot, and then I put the seedling in, and then I cover the roots and the stem with the potting soil. That's actually it. And then this one, notice that it's not full of potting soil first, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of the potting soil to fill the pot like this. So easy peasy. My goal today is to finish repotting all of this, around, I don't know, 250 maybe 300 tomato seedlings, and in a couple of weeks this will be ready for selling. I just want to show you some cool stuff in here. Like if you look at this tray, it has different leaves, not the usual tomato leaves that you see. Like here, this one is, yeah, let's put them side by side. This one is Cherokee purple, and many tomatoes have these leaves, but the Brandywine has kind of like a heart-shaped leaves, so you can like distinguish them from the other tomatoes, and they're pretty cool. So that's what we're doing right now. These are actually looking great. They're very much hydrated. And then, okay, I'm gonna show you one more plant. So we're gonna get our potting mix in here, hydrated. I put a lot of water, but that's okay because tomatoes need water. These leaves are yellow, so I'll just remove the leaves, just the two bottom leaves, and then just stick the plant in the pot like that. It takes just a few seconds, and if you are repotting a lot of seedlings, you can do it this way. Whenever I started gardening, I was very careful with my seedlings, and I put only one seed per cell because I didn't want to disturb the roots. But with tomatoes, anywhere the stem touches the soil, it's going to grow some roots, so you don't have to worry about it. Okay, one more. Okay, this one has, look at that, it actually has nice root system. I just put this in here, and then, okay, let's take a look at this. I'll just hold this one above my bucket, and then add the potting mix, fill it with the potting mix. And because this is very wet, whenever the water or most of the water has drained out of this container, the soil level will be lower, and that's okay because I can just add more later on if needed. These are the seedlings that I have repotted so far. In addition to the Brandywine tomato seedlings that I showed you right there on the table, these are beefsteak. We have a lot of beefsteak. I thought I seeded 50, but I think I have more than 50. I probably got some extra seeds. Look at that. They're looking great. And starting tomorrow, it's gonna warm up in here. So these tomatoes should grow quicker. And in a couple of weeks, we can put this out in the stand, and people can buy them so they can start growing their own garden. That's gonna be all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. I temporarily put the tomatoes here on the ground, but we will put this somewhere else later on to protect them from the slugs and from the other insects that might destroy our tomato seedlings. Happy gardening, guys. Have a great day.